Okay, hello everybody. Jason Hill here from Owl Mountain Models. We're actually going to be doing a quick installation video on the Southern Pacific 2436. I plan to be uploading this video on my blog at nightowlmodeler.blogspot.com. This one's a customer's car. He wanted installation work done. I don't usually do this. He's a friend, so we're going to go ahead and try to help him out. This is one of our little tailgates with a marker already mounted on it. I should have already filmed this. I showed basically how to build one of these already. This one doesn't have the resistor on it yet. Doesn't have the wiring mounted on it yet either. Let's see if I can show those connectors back there. So basically the goal here is to make that fit inside of here. Now the Athearn Genesis 77C3 chair cars, which this is one of, they've now released these in about 6 different paint schemes. Most of the paint schemes, the SP actually had them. This one's going to be a unique car because I replaced the Southern Pacific lines, spelled out lettering with Southern Pacific, and did a little bit of touch up on the paint. We'll also be putting sunshade or window shades in. But the interesting part on this car is the lighting kit that they have on the kit. Let's see if I hook up my... Not going to be as fast as I was hoping to make it on this video, but let's go ahead and hook up these conductor leads here real quick as if it was on the track. And I will turn on my power supply. And there we go. The lighting is coming up. I do actually have a dropping resistor in here right now, so that actually will be quite a bit brighter. Basically, this car is very nice because it already has an existing lighting kit. Yay. So all we have to really do is bridge in, not let the car roll over. Basically, I'll probably just solder in right here and right, oops, see if I can get the camera to see this. Yeah, right here and right here. Basically right next to where my clip leads are. Hopefully I don't desolder that in the process. This particular car, the customers asked me to set up running vestibule rear, and you can see the lighting's actually battery powered, so it's still going. He wants this to be the rear of the car, over here where the steps would be. So having the car turned around that way, it will be easiest just to hook in and run the wiring from here over to this end of the car. So let's see about doing that real quick. I keep saying this is actually one of the easiest installations to do. I did this already on one of my little, on a chair car that I did a few years ago. I'm going to ramble here apparently while I get the, okay, this is the TCS 1219, which is a 32 gauge wire, and we will strip the end of that with my fingernails, and we'll get a little bit of flux. Not a lot, just a little bit. Should still have some solder on the iron here. There we go. Okay, check this. These are already pre-tinned. I'm going to go ahead and... Now there's 2 ways to do this. You could glue in the tailgate into the end of the car, and then see about wiring it afterwards. I kind of don't like doing that because that makes you wave a hot soldering iron around inside a plastic car. Bad things may happen. So we will go ahead, and I think I will get this out of the way for now. And maybe the camera will see this. Maybe I need to move it. Alright. Yeah, that's not too bad. Okay. So we come in and tap off my soldering iron. I'm going to bend that wire, I'm going to bend that contact over temporarily so it's an easier angle for me to solder to. And there's that joint. Yep. Pull test it, make sure it's good, which it is. I should have a pre-tinned section of resistor here. So we'll come in and solder this in place. You know you're hanging around too long if if the heat goes all the way up to your finger and it starts burning you. You know you've hung around too long. So once this is in, get a rough approximation of how long that's going to need to be. Probably about here. Go in with my flush cutters. This wire is really soft. I'm actually using the same flush cutters I use to cut my plastic sprues and so forth, to de-sprue really fine detail parts. Normally I would say never do that. However, in this particular case, I know this wire is very soft, and I'm not going to have any problem with that. I'm also going to strip, because I don't trust being able to get that resistor to be able to get all the way over to the end of the lighting kit. I'm going to go ahead and bend this in a shape. Again, these parts are really easy with being metal. I can bend them around pretty easily to whatever shape I need. So here we go again with the flux. And I knocked off most of my solder, so I'm going to grab a little bit more solder here. Tin that. And again, the car body's in the way, so don't know how that worked, but that's now in place. And again, about this far, I'll cut that off. Thank you, wire. And I don't know how well this is going to be able to be visible on the camera with the lighting that I have. The next step will be, of course, to glue in the marker tailgate. Okay. Not sure how well this will be able to be visible on the camera, but I'm basically trying to put in the tailgate from the inside. This is actually a lot easier to do on the blind end of the cars because you basically just work from the outside and you don't have to worry about it. I did cut off the second side of the tailgate. Basically, a Walther's car, you need this extra width here where these vertical rungs are. This particular car, I don't need them. So what I'm actually doing on this particular car is cutting it just inside of those on the scissor gates with my trusty flush cutters. Another bit of freehand video. Let's see if this works. I have it wedged in there now. You can see basically how that's aligned. And I'm going to hit those edges with a little bit of liquid glue. Basically, Tamiya is my preferred liquid cement at this time. So I'll grab that. But since the last cut, it's only been a few, not even a minute or two. It really just took me getting it off of the off screen to be able to get the right angle to do this. I'm going to see if I can do this and let you see. I'm trying to keep the glue away from both the silver paint and the various parts of the diaphragm there. And now I'll turn this over. Hopefully this is actually being enough visible by the camera that it's working. Not the easiest. Trust me, this is much easier to do if you're not trying to video it while you're actually gluing it. So that will need to set for a little while and let the glue do its magic. And then we will see about soldering up those wires to the interior, to the lighting strip. Well, silly me. I forgot that the easiest way to do this is just take the end of the car out. So I'm not really going to go ahead and redo the entire installation at this point, that I've pretty much already done it. What I am going to show is a little bit more just messing around here with the resistor. I don't want that near the car side. I don't really want that touching anything. I'd like to have at least a 1/16 or maybe 1/8 of an inch ideally around. So now it's free floating, but it is going to stay a little bit clear of any parts of the car. The other side here I'm going to try to bend and get that slightly tweaked. Okay, so now this is going to basically come up and follow along the top of the car. Alright, so now we have our wiring in there, and this is going to be the tricky part, to try to get the wiring soldered and let the camera see this. I don't think I'm going to be able to do this easily on camera, although what I will do is I will take out the lighting interior, because it is screw mounted, so I should be able to take this out, and it'll make the project a little bit longer. I might actually recommend doing this if you're trying to follow this, because taking the interior out will mean that you're not going to risk melting the whole body of the car with your soldering iron. Alright, about 30 seconds or so has gone by. I just had to get my Phillips screwdriver and take the screws out. Here's the body without the lighting kit in it. I'm going to set that aside. I'm going to grab these two screws and set them aside as well. I will actually pull the end back out of the car, because we will be needing that. Alright, now, actually this whole thing is a little bit wonky. Okay, so what we want is these contacts at this end. We were going to go away from the capacitor, so I need to solder into these points here, which shouldn't be too hard. Especially since they already have solder. Looks like I didn't tin this. Okay, momentary cut there while I tinned the ends of my black wires. Shouldn't be that big of a deal. Now the only trick here is not having anything fall off when I solder this. Okay, there's that one. And I know this is not a good viewpoint for all you folks out there in video land, but trying to do this with the light and the model and the wire and the soldering iron gets a little bit tricky. And I'll do the best I can to make it visible. It looks like I'm just going to have to go on its back here and solder that. There we go. Pull test. Yep. That is in there. Alrighty. Set my soldering iron down in a safe place. Hopefully safe place where it won't burn me. For all of my friends out there that actually know me pretty well, this is, I'm just going to kind of ramble apparently. Okay, so we have all this wired up. This piece here will go back over this. And my screws. And I'm dropping things. Okay, that goes in there. There's another screw that goes in up here at the top, as you can see. So, debating about which way I want to put this in here. Which way will go easiest and which way will go first. There we go. Get to see the exciting view of the back of a screwdriver. Okay. So now that's installed. And I'm taking this out of frame so that I can basically pull on this carefully and not damage it. Okay. So now that's in there. Let me grab my flashlight. So there's the wires all connecting. I'm going to... Everything's a little bit squirrely in here still. I think at this point what I'm going to do is I'm going to get a little bit of hobby tack and stick it in there. So, be a minute. Okay, so I said hobby tack. That's not what I'm actually using. What I'm using is this Loctite Fun Tack. This is mounting putty. You can get it at basically any Walmart. It's not that expensive. It's actually pretty cheap. It's kind of one of these little putties. You get some rows of this goo. I'm going to go in with my knife and basically cut a small roll of it like this, and what it will allow me to do basically is stick the wiring where I want to up inside the roof, and then basically press the putty, there we go, press the putty in there and get the wires secured, because what I don't really want is the wires running around the inside of the car when I'm trying to assemble it and then getting into trouble. Alright, welcome back everybody. Before we actually put the whole car together, I need to put in the interior window shades and stuff, so I'm not quite ready to button the whole car up yet, but I thought I'd go ahead and hook up the lighting, and right now that's full intensity on the lighting. I took out the drop ring resistor in my pickup leads there, but basically here's the marker and it's lit. I'm going to get my flashlight out to counter light this so we can see it. Get my low setting, there we go. So basically the light is in there, it is working. My camera got too close there. Alright, there we go. Basically that's how it looks. I will basically go in and put a drop of canopy cement on top of the LED to form a lens. So I'll be doing that presently. And right now I went outside and sprayed a strip of paper actually. Couldn't find my 3x5 cards at the moment. With the same gloss aluminum that I used on the marker casting. So that will be what I use for the window shades. So that'll be just a moment.